sexual abuse victims into Egypt. Egypt cabinet has approved the amendment to the country's criminal procedure law that will guarantee victims for sexual abuse. And as Kenya launches talks onto the free trade with the United States, anger over Malawi family cabinet appointees and Hong Kong could kill more than the COVID-19, according to Oxfam. More people would die from hunger as a result of the coronavirus pandemic than from the disease itself. Good afternoon. It's a pleasant welcome to all of you starting to join us live on our Cool Line 2 page this afternoon. My guests are already into the studio this afternoon. Mrs. Jenny Colley, the Director of Media Relations at the University of Liberia. Mr. Thomas Kanya, the Director of University Relations at the university. We will be talking about the e-learning process at the University of Liberia. Let's now take this break as we welcome in our guests onto the program. All of you watching live on our Cool Line 2 page, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us, and also those following on 91.9 by radio. It's a pleasure to welcome you on to today's spectacular edition of the program, The Heat.
Fellow citizens and foreign residents, government is taking every precaution and actions to protect our borders and ports of entry. It is very important that we all follow the guidelines set out by the health authorities and adapt our behavior accordingly.
Kaya, okay, Thomas Kaya, you are the Director of University Relations there at the University of Liberia. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon on the platform. Let's go to this issue. The University of Liberia began this process 2019 and 2020 semester of the e-learning process. What is it all about?
E-learning is an educational platform that the university is adopting for this especially COVID-19 period. So it's a special e-learning semester that will begin on the 28th of July. Registration begins on the 13th of July. And our students will enjoy the comforts of their home, but will still have all of the academic learning and teaching facilities the university offer via their devices, telephone, tablets, and
the internet.
laptop.
You just sit down home and you go right onto your phone, onto your computer. You go exactly with the instructions given, and you have been taught.
Exactly.
And this entire process will begin this month as a special e-learning semester on. Thomas, let me come to you. Into Liberia that has a very poor internet quality, what are the challenges into your mind?
Yeah, we have lots of challenges, not just with internet. I mean, Liberia is a developing country, not one of those rich ones, so internet is not the only issue. In spite of that, we have found ways to keep growing. We are very resilient people. So students have been conducting themselves, attending our regular semester. So this is not going to be any different. I recognize the fact that we have internet challenges, but students are still online doing other things, following news on social media, following our posts. Students still found a way to be online. So we know times are hard. That's why during the entire process, planning for this, considerations were made for students who may not be able to afford. We didn't think much into the technical details of it being so difficult to get online, we focus more on the economic side. So students who cannot afford, there are packages being prepared to help them get something affordable to conduct themselves during this special semester.
Jenny, 2018, thousands of students they were dropping out of the school because of financial difficulty. What are your expectations?
The university under this new dispensation, which is the government, the pro-government of the Congress of Democratic Change, has gone through a lot of phases. One of them is that the university was declared tuition free, and that will continue with this e-learning semester. So you won't be paying any tuition. You only be paying the registration fees that you always pay. So it's no additional burden of cost to our students. Also, the university, with the exception of being tuition free, the president has mandated our president, and if you know the history of our president, he's more student-centered. He's been Dean of Student Affairs for a very long time at university. Is driving a process that the university focus on the end users, which is our students. They are the most important thing to us. So all of our programs, all of our activities are designed specifically to meet our students' need and to address the challenges as well.
What are the courses, what are the major courses that will be taught onto this e-learning process?
All of our courses are being offered. All of our courses, our graduate program, our professional schools, undergraduate programs, even our college in St. J, which offers AA and associate degrees, will be online.
Wow, and certainly following the conversation this afternoon here, the e-learning. Thomas, this is the first of its kind of this issue of e-learning at the University of Liberia. What are the importance that this meeting will add on to university students on, because this is first of its kind?
Yes, before going to the importance of this semester, we just want to do a bit of background because it's something new, as you said, and even though our president, Dr. Julian Nelson, and the vice president for university relations, Anthony Stewart, have been speaking a lot about this, but there could be some students who haven't gotten the message. This is like the process that began, that Jenny spoke about a few years ago, with the digitization of some of the processes on campus, moving towards a different form of education. You know, the University of Liberia is a traditional school. We do teaching in class, students attend, lecturers come and present, but the world has changed. And we've been thinking about how can we build the capacity of our people, so once you leave the walls of the University of Liberia, you are ready for the job market. So that thought process was way before COVID. And then it led to the development of a digitization plan. That plan was in full swing around the last quarter of 2019. And we started laying the groundwork, doing the fiber optic connection that you referenced, inviting professors from other universities to come and train our teachers, prepare them for the rollout of e-learning. And we also have this plan of offering degree in information technology, all part of the process of laying the basis so that our education system can be upgraded and we can compete with universities out there. Unfortunately, COVID came and interrupted this plan. So, like everyone else, we had to adjust. COVID taught us to think differently, do things differently. So we were faced with tough choices, very tough ones. Could we just sit and say, we wait until this thing plays out, and after that we go back to business as usual? We could say that, but there's no timeline inside. There's also the option of bringing students on campus. The fact that some people thought the pandemic was subsiding, we could bring some students on campus, observe one of the health protocols. But you will agree with me that it is extremely difficult to deal with thousands of students on such a thin line and be assured that they will follow all of the health guidelines and there is no outbreak on our campus. Even the number of persons we need to man our classes to ensure that social distancing regulations are enforced, the number of hand wash facilities, they were too high. So we said these are not options. So we had to think out of the box how can we continue our obligation of educating our students without breaching any of the health guidelines? So we already had a digitization plan, a milestone of which was e-learning. So it became the only logical choice. We respect all of the health guidelines, stay in lockdown, wait for COVID, but we keep doing something, educating our students. So with that backdrop out of the way, e-learning is very beneficial. For one, you are not going to leave the walls of the university. You take a job with UNICEF and you expect to write in ledgers with pen. You are going to be interacting with some form of technology. You will be presented with computers. Your job will be sent to you mostly via email, and all of the interaction, or a lot of the interaction, will be using technology. So there will be no excuse that I left the walls of the University of Liberia. I am not digital ready in this computer era, and part of the the blame will be on us for not preparing you properly for the labor market. So in order to change that, we say we have to do something. This was in play already. COVID has only hastened the process. So if we start this semester, which we call a special semester, it's going to set the basis for students to start thinking in digital terms.
So
How do we
our teachers already taught to follow through to do this e-learning process? Are teachers already taught?
That is ongoing as we speak. Teachers have been going through rigorous training for the last 3 months. And this process will continue because, as I said, COVID will change this world, and our university will not keep on the track of being the traditional university it has always been. We'll keep our classes and our structure in place, but we're going to integrate with digital technology to make sure our education standard is comparable to any. So let me just conclude on the point. So in addition to training our instructors, we already have trained some students, and there is going to be an orientation process to familiarize all of the students with this platform. And we know it's going to be difficult, not just for students, but for us. The administrators, the teaching staff, it's going to be challenging because it's completely new. But
there are even some teachers already there at the University of Liberia that don't even own a laptop.
So personally, they have welcomed the process. They now are they are now using computers in ways that they never thought of, just from the 3 months of training. There are students who are saying they too are not computer literate, but yeah, it's a challenge. Once you have a challenge before you, you prepare yourself to face it. So with this already in place, we know that in 2-3 semesters after COVID, it's going to be a normal process. Now people are nervous, people are jittery because it's something we haven't tried before. And this is a normal part of human behavior. You become cynical and you become afraid when you are facing the unknown. But once we start to reap the benefit from this e-learning process, everyone will say this was the right move at the right time.
Jenny, we are talking about this difficulty. Teachers are finding it difficult getting along, especially at this early stage. Like I said to you, teachers, students, a lot of them don't even have a laptop or a smartphone. This is going to be a difficult thing.
You know, we like a challenge at the University of Liberia. And that's why one of the things that the uniqueness of the university is we always approach a problem holistically. The students are very involved through the student council. The university have a faculty and staff association, and then they have the joint council. So you have a lot of the different sectors giving advice and tailoring this. And this has been a 3 months process. This is not something that was done yesterday. The issue of laptops were brought up. The issue of gadgets were brought up. The university has have a plan to make sure that all of our instructors and instructional staff have laptops to do this. The infrastructure for fiber optic network was put in place. So internet connectivity is also being addressed.
Will the institution provide the laptops for instructors?
Yes, the institution will provide laptops for all of its instructors. For students, we know that it's important. We can have the laptops, but if the students don't have the gadget, that means they won't be able to go online. So conversations have been happening with our GSM companies, and the university is looking closely at providing very affordable rates in collaboration with the GSM companies for students to get gadgets, for them to be able to go online. So the university is looking at this, as I said, all of the different stakeholders within the process had their issues. If this is going to work, we need this. If this is going to work, we need this. And with the sound counsel of all of that, the university administration came up with a holistic plan to address all of the small hitches that might happen as we go along. But let's not forget, this is not a perfect plan. That's why it's a special e-learning semester. As we go along, wherever we have technical glitches or technical difficulties or other difficulties, the university is open to adapt and handle those problems. This is a learning curve, and we are in it together, students, administrators, and faculty members. We are going through the learning curve to perfect this as we go to the future.
Yeah, Thomas,
Yeah, just to add up to what she just said, this is not a perfect semester. Even if we were not in classes, it would have been difficult. There are institutions in more developed countries with problem with access to capital. They are still struggling since COVID hit because they too are forced to go online. If they can struggle, we too will struggle. So we expect that there will be some challenges along the way. But the important thing is we are doing this in the midst of a crisis, in this crisis context, but we are going to take note of everything we do. So now that we have it as part of our grand digitalization plan, and we are doing this because COVID has forced us to do it, we will take complete record of the process, learn from our experiences, and do it very close to perfectly next time. Because going forward, as I said, we are not going to keep teaching students just in this box classroom the traditional way without some integration of digital technology. So that is why we encourage students to participate in this, get the feeling, get to know how different the world is once you leave the traditional mode of teaching or learning, and experience what other students are experiencing outside Liberia.
Let's go to this issue, into the statement. You talk about an agreement with the regional local partners to provide data packages on with computing gadgets, affordable rates. Are you going to go to the GSM company as an institution, get an on that students of the Universal Library will get a special rate?
Yes, the university is going to the university have already engaged GSM companies.
Okay.
And before we begin the semester, students will be made aware of what the package is and how they can get the package. But let me say this, and let me put this so we all have the idea. This is for students. To become a student of the university, you must have registered.
Right.
So yes, data package will be provided for students to access the site, the e-learning portal, which is model that has been adopted. For you to access that site, a flat rate will be given.
Okay.
And you can use it. It's not going to be an every month basis. The discussion is that it will be for the entire semester. So it's a flat rate you pay for the entire semester to access the site and do your coursework.
Okay. And let's go to this issue here. The university president, this issue of graduation professional courses at the graduate level, are there reduction in fees? Because this complaint of fees payment have been one of the major things there at the University of Liberia. Even we're talking about the issue of gadgets, computer, all this, there will still be this cry, I don't have it, I'm not able to even register. What's the way on to this process?
Yeah, please remember now, everything we are doing should be discussed in the context of the prevailing crisis. Our economy has been strangulated by this virus that no one saw coming, and because of that, we are adjusting, not just in order to survive on the health front, but also on the economic front. Institutions are struggling too, just like individuals. So because of that, that was one of the motivation for doing this instead of going to the traditional form. So if you are talking about the issue of reduction in fees and all that, that's a technical question that our finance people might be able to handle. But what I do know, the president has announced some amazing deals for students who are from the graduate school. If you had issue with the process last semester or the semester before, if you have arrears, By clearing your arrears, you are qualified for discount on the current semester. So you have discounts up to 20% based on how much of the past semester you cleared. And the university is an institution that is here for a long time. We have been allowing students to go through the semester and then clearing the payment later. So there are you also thinking about
Let's say this clearly, Nathaniel. The university is the cheapest in the Republic of Nigeria. You are encouraged to pay your fees. You are highly encouraged to pay your tuition for graduate level and for undergraduate your registration fee. We're cognizant of all of the challenges, but you have to understand that the burden also lies on us as it lies on you. So for us to be effective and do what we can do as a university and provide the quality that you seek, it is important that you pay your fees.
It's important that you pay your fees. And Dr. Nelson clarified that the process of free tuition will remain in tight.
Yes.
With this semester, is it going to be automatically free? You're talking about fees. I'm hearing this thing about fees. There is something being attached onto it. And
Let's make a clarification
Yeah.
quickly before our listening audience get confused.
Yeah.
We already have this tuition waiver policy at the university for undergraduate students.
Okay.
They are only
expected to register themselves. The amount is 2,000 Liberian dollars on undergraduate studies. For graduate students, it's different. The waiver doesn't cover them. In addition to that, the president has also announced students who will be doing readmission. Usually there is a fee attached, but this time around, readmission fees will be waived. So all these things have been done, considering the fact that we are in difficult economic time and we need to consider the needs of the students. So from providing gadgets to providing data at affordable rates, making special provision for students who are doing readmission, giving discount to graduate students. All these things are being done to encourage students to participate in the special semester. So the fees payment, the university students are already aware that undergraduate students don't pay fees anymore. I think about 2 years now.
Yes.
Yeah, since 2018. So all they need to do is to pay registration fee. And the registration fee this time around is going to be the key issue because that's how you are recognized as a student. The system we use is called Moodle. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with it, but I'm sure members of our audience would not be. It's going to be there for instructors to post their lessons. Students will go and interact. Just consider it the social media platform for learning. Very interactive, very user-friendly. You go there, you do your lesson. You don't have to be there at the same time the university professor is on. But more importantly, you will need to have your university email address, your ID number, and a password in order to have access to our amazing educational platform.
Yeah.
To do that, you must be a registered student.
You registered student, you must be. You're talking about the model here. The LMS is of choice. Can you just drill us through what is this LMS all about?
LMS, if I may continue, LMS
It's the learning management system. It's this new concept since education has been revolutionized. We develop different kinds of system. It's all to manage how professors do their lesson, how they interact with our students, and how the semester is rolled out. That includes from the registration process all the way to testing and evaluation. There are different systems around the world for managing learning. They have Blackboard, they have Moodle and Canvas. There are many others, but top on the list, especially in developing countries, is Moodle. Moodle is open source, meaning you can go there, get the code, develop and customize to your university structure. And that is what we have decided to go with for many reasons. One, it doesn't take up much data. Two, it is an environment that mimics the structure we have on our physical campuses. You are there, you feel in touch, you talk to students and instructor, you create groups, you study a social study group, you set up social study group, and you also have the opportunity to do progressive evaluation of your understanding of the concept being taught in a particular course. every week lessons will be posted and you have your reading, and then you can do self-test exam posted by the instructor to understand if the concept that he's trying to present is something you are familiar with. And this professor will also have the notification in the back end that the student he's dealing with, about 50% are now graphing or they are up to the task. So it's a whole new environment that we only have to embrace and get used to.
Jenny, how long is the University of Liberia intending to take this process? Because this process developed COVID-19. If COVID-19 goes out of Liberia August, is this process going to continue?
I like your spirit. August would be a good time for COVID-19 to go. Let's just say that. I would really like for COVID-19 to go. But the university this is a dawn of a new day. Online learning or e-learning or utilizing e-learning platforms is what all of the universities around the world do. So the university is going to do this for all of its courses. But after a year, the university is not going to trash this. This is an investment that will continue to give.
Okay.
The university will go ahead and look into opportunities of hybrid learning, which is part-time traditional and part-time online. There are courses, there are people who want to do masters in this country, but they're somewhere in Banga working with an NGO or in San Inquillia somewhere.
They don't have the time to be.
They don't have the time to be here. E-learning gives them an opportunity to do so.
Okay.
So the university will utilize this platform in other ways. And our students and the country, the university is the premier institution for providing manpower. So e-learning gives us that opportunity to expand our reach. And the university intends to go ahead and use this.
Okay, today you are listening to The Heat this afternoon, and I'm having in the studio as my guest, Mrs. Jenny Colley, the Director of Media Relations at the University of Liberia, Mr. Thomas Kaya, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Kaya, the Director of University Relations there. We are talking about this e-learning process. It is a pleasure to join us. And thanks to all of you joining our online page and also those listening by radio this afternoon. And through the Department of the University Relations, the Academic Affairs, the release of this reverse schedule for second semester academic 2019-2020. Is it up now?
Yes, we've released the calendar. That's what I was saying. Our registration begins on the 13th of July and we'll run up to past the 26th. So at least we know all the 26th celebration is out of the system. And on the 28th, academic activities will begin.
Online.
Online, yes.
Okay. And we right here this afternoon, you can put your questions, comment or suggestions on our Facebook page. And also, we'll also afford the opportunity online on our phone to interact with our guests into the studio this afternoon. I continue to receive a lot of tip off onto this issues of less fortunate people on the issue of fees payment. It's all up onto this. I'm wondering as whether you people are considering this thing. They are still talking about this issue of tuition-free.
The tuition-free policy, and if anybody who enrolled in university over the past 2 semesters know this, and for those who want to come, let's explain this. The tuition-free policy states that the government of Liberia will cover the cost of your tuition. Your tuition. There are registration fees in a tune of plus or minus 2,000. It's 2,000, a little more, a little less. For depending on the course you do, and that is Liberian dollars. That 2,000 plus or minus Liberian dollars is paid by the students. The rest of your tuition fee in the tune of sometimes 15 to 20,000 is paid by the government of Liberia. This continues. There is no change. The university will still. All you have to do as a student is to register. The government will pay your tuition. That has always been a policy announced by the government since the past 2 semesters. And that continues.
Thomas, the issue of the e-learning process, are you considering the people that are outside Liberia to get on this platform?
Right now,
The semester is a special semester, so admission process is restricted to those who are all current students. You know, before COVID, we already had announced entrance examination for the undergraduate and graduate professional schools. That was cancelled, rescheduled. So if you are caught up, for instance, in the Gambia, and you are a student of the Department of Economics, where I came from, you follow our process and you want to be a part. If you can make payment and enroll, COVID caught you there, but you can still cut a few credits from your coursework, and at the end of this semester, you'll be closer to graduation than you were before COVID. So it's possible to participate if you are already a student of the University of Liberia.
Okay. And you said if you're outside, there are also those following online. There's an opportunity for you there. You can still be
and let me just
outside.
This is one of the reasons why we keep encouraging students to work on this process, because it's going to set up our university
In such a way that you are not restricted anymore by distance or by time. I know a lot of friends who had to make the hard and sad decision to drop from school only because they got jobs that took them far up and they could not continue with their classes. If we do this semester, we get it right. In future semester, we'll have our brick and mortar classes, but we'll also have options for each course to do your online session. So if you are not in Monrovia, you caught up in or Cleveland for the weekend seminar your office is having, you are not going to miss out on the classes, because before students go to class, materials will already be loaded online, and after class, discussions and material from that class will be loaded there. That is where we are taking this university. But it starts with again and again until you grasp the concept.
Let's talk about this internet connectivity issue. This has been one of the major problems, even on the normal note. A lot of the folks, students, residents of Liberia or Muscle County, they had a log on out of the GSM company here, but you still find people complaining, I can't get network, I can't get network. How are we going to work with that?
You see the sweetness of this e-learning. I like to talk about e-learning because it's just it's just a very nice, well thought of platform. If I'm having difficulties of going online at 10 o'clock, I can say I'll go online by 11 midnight. The course lesson is still there. It's not like going to the ATM and wanting money at that point in time. You try, and you say network, and you go frustrated without it. The beauty of e-learning is the lesson is uploaded to the cloud. So whenever your internet is working, and obviously we have storms that blow out towers and stuff like that in Liberia. So we know the complexities. You can go ahead still at a later time and still access your lessons or your assignments. If your assignment is due, and this is something that I thought to really mention, because I know us. I went to school yet. I know how we can do it yet. So let me talk in a real way. We let delay in Benin. Last minute of time. I thought we say we want to do all our assignment and quick to go ahead and do it. If you know you have an assignment due at 12:30, it means you're supposed to submit before 12:29. So go ahead, you can take it down. It will normally be a week or so. You write small, edit it, and then you upload it before 12:29. Don't wait for 12 o'clock. Then all the materials you want put it to submit it. Then we start having a question of, it's difficult, by the time you won't go submit, nobody to talk to the instructor again to accept your people.
Okay, Bob K. coming in on our live Facebook post said, Nathaniel, please ask him, I think it's you now, because it said him, when was the training for teachers? Because it has already gone, it hasn't gone even 2 months since we heard about this untimely e-learning process. I don't know.
It's untimely for him because maybe since when he started to hear about it. But for us, we've been thinking of the process since COVID hit Liberia.
Okay.
I mean, if people have been following the activities of the University of Liberia, we even had a look stock on how prepared are we as a country if this virus hits. So we started thinking about it long before COVID even hit West Africa. So we had this plan, as I said, for taking the university digital. A milestone of which was making sure our students enjoy the benefits of e-learning. So we already started training our instructors around December, January. A Fulbright professor came, conducted training in the rollout of this model platform. These are things we did. But when we made the decision that our semester this time around will not be a traditional one and we are not going to wait for COVID to end, we started training our instructional staff. The training has been going on for over 2 months. Rigorous training. They train in person, small groups, and they also do training online. The capacity level has increased since COVID hit Liberia. Assuming we put this semester aside, the benefit already accrued by the university, the fact that our traditional professor availed themselves and went through the process of upgrading their understanding of technology, that's already a benefit. So on his issue of when did we start, we started long before we even made the announcement. We knew that there would be challenges for our two main groups, instructional staff and the students. On the student side, some of them have familiarity with technology. The main concern for students, as we thought of it during the planning process, are the issue of gadgets. We are from poor background, we don't have computers, we don't have money to buy. Most of us who went through the walls of the University of Liberia come from similar background, but we found a way to get through. The next issue is the issue of data. That's why we said we are not going to make any announcement until we find a path for these students. And that's why we reached out to our GSM companies, and now we are in active discussions with Orange and MTN for the provision of gadget and data. So the issue of training for instructor is already done. Students will have to catch up now.
Before going to evaluation and testing as to how this will be done, one of the students of the teacher college said, "I'm Kafala Jabate, student of Teachers College, University of Liberia. I want to know from the studio guests if I'm doing 5 courses, about 15 credits, a 15 credit hour. How can I attend all the section at the same time?" Jenny, you can talk.
Well, Kafala is very easy. If you have 15 credits and 5 courses, all 5 courses materials for the week will be uploaded to your cloud. So this time you don't have to say you're going Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2:30 to 3:30 to sit in a class. It's up there. You can choose at your disposal to say, since we have 5 days in a week, Monday I'll focus on English 504 or 404. Tuesday I'll focus on mathematics. Wednesday I'll focus on whether it is I don't know the courses in Teachers College because I'm not from there. I'll give something else. If you're from sociology, you can say you will do marriage and family, or you could do other courses. And it's left with your schedule. The thing about it is, it also gives you the ability, if you some of us who are very slow, we say, I will do math in the morning, I do English in the evening.
You take your own time.
Exactly.
And you go through it.
You take your own time. You customize it to what works best for you. And that is very important because there is no way you learn effectively if it's not something that works best for you.
Okay. Boima Yo-Yo, Boima is asking, will Zoom be used also on this e-learning process?
Yeah, before I answer Boima's question, there was an interesting comment made by our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Moses Sina, on ELBC a few nights ago, Monday night. He said, this thing is new, but if welcomed by the students, it's going to be very transformative. It's going to take the focus of the learning process from the teacher to the students. So for a long time, our system has always been about the process without focusing on. Now we'll be taking the initiative and then we'll be doing self-examination. To know what you know is important. So he said in this way, bye-bye to teaching, hello to learning. So the focus now will be on actual learning. So to the question of the guy who just
Zoom.
asked, okay, no, not just the Zoom, the previous guy, you are going to schedule yourself in a way, and you will be under pressure to discipline yourself. You need 12 hours for the week to conduct all of your courses. You have to do your schedule on how you approach each of them. It teaches you self-discipline. It teaches you research method. And then it forces you to respect time and deadline. These are some of the intangibles we're going to get from this process. So to Kaifala issue, Zoom is
that's Burma.
oh yeah, Burma. Zoom is a new thing that is now popular since COVID hit. Zoom has been around, but since COVID is popular. People use it for video conferencing, people use it for distance calling, but it's also in the learning process. Our approach to e-learning is one that doesn't require you doing live interaction all of the time. But in specific cases, when needed, the infrastructure is there for Zoom and other platforms to be used. So once you are using Moodle, Moodle is just a framework. Anything can be used within Moodle. Most notably, Zoom that has now become so popular. So for instance, the law school and some professional schools, that the instructors insist on interaction for some courses, Zoom will be there as a platform to use.
Okay.
But for undergraduate courses that do not require that, we don't want to put pressure on the students to use a lot of data on live video when it's not really necessary.
Okay, we'll be going to the line to talk to those listening to the video this afternoon. But Ibrahim Fala, he said, we that have to do lab, how would that be done?
Okay.
And Sako Bestman is also the line, he said, how lab classes will be conducted?
Lab classes, as Thomas just said, courses that require Zoom. So it's open. There will be classes that requires a demonstration in person. So COVID-19 rules will be at year 2, and creative ways will be done for students to come in and do those ones. For those that require video conferencing, you can be to your house and see the experiment. Platforms like Zoom will be adapted to do so.
Okay.
So the university has thought through that part. We also like to note that the medical school and the School of Pharmacy that really requires a lot of laboratory experiences have been using this process for the past 2 years. So our students can rest assured.
At the University of Liberia?
Yes. So that our students can rest assured that all that courses that require lab will do labs. If it's not possible to do lab, they will not be held liable for. I remember a student asked that he failed because they couldn't do lab online. That is not going to happen.
Quickly interject, if we have time. Well,
Yeah,
for
we're
those,
going to the line, but let's you will go that
No,
with
there's
the,
an important clarification I need to
Okay.
make on that question.
okay.
For those courses that require lab and
physical interaction, like in the area of agricultural college. She mentioned the medical school. And before I graduated from the Department of Economics, I was in the chemistry department. I know lab classes are very important. So you will have the opportunity to do lab, but in small groups. This is why we say we are doing e-learning, which is different from us saying, outrightly, this is distant learning. So we have to be clear on the distinctions.
Okay.
Where necessary for us to have in-person discussion with our students, health measures will be observed, and small group of students will be converged in order to do the lab. This is a clarification that has been made.
Thomas, if a student is in Banga, if a student is some part of the Nimba County, and they have to come to the issue of coming to the lab to see the difficulty of leaving from there to come in small
I'm
groups.
not discounting what Jenny just said. She
Okay.
said there's a possibility to do
Certain lab demonstration online, not the one that requires you mixing chemical and doing all that, but there are certain video demonstration that can be done by professor and poster that explains the concept very clearly. The entire intent of this entire process is for learning to be achieved. People
Okay.
should learn something new. So if that can be done using our new media technology, fine. In cases where it's not possible, they can schedule it in such a way that students are allowed to come and do their lab in group of 10, and it can be done. And
Okay.
if you are so far, special provisions will be made to consider such cases.
Okay, thank you so much. Kabufos D. Wayan, he said this a form of learning will be the first time that most students will there be the time for students to get adjusted to, and he's asking a question that, but before I go to the line, let me just go to this issue here. How can you explain this issue of testing and evaluation? How?
Testing and evaluation. So I've done Zoom before. I've done e-learning before, distance learning. For me, it was distance learning, so completely cut off from the classroom. Model provides evaluation settings for students. Now, is testing as seen? It could be essays, submitting of papers. It could be a video production. It could be a video of you live answering questions. It could also be time-bound questions. So something like, when is Cool FM coming online? And then you have an answer and you have a time for you to answer that question. So let's say 10 seconds. And you say Cool FM is coming online 9 p.m. And after that 10 seconds, the question expires and you go to the next question. So there are different forms of evaluation that is built within the module system. And I can assure people who are worried about if people will cheat and people will not cheat, my thing to you is steady, because the system is built for you not to cheat. It is built and it has been tested. If you don't study, you won't be able to get
no
the
spine,
grades.
no spine. You will be having the time to peek and look at your.
It's not possible for you to even spar with that kind of system, especially if it's time. It's timed.
Yeah.
No, the good thing about it, I've been following a lot of comments on social media from students since we made this announcement. But those of us involved in the process, we have had first-hand experience, and we've gone through this, and some of us are still going through it. So if you think about cheating because no one is with you, you are going to be doing that to your disadvantage, because the course will be they get a fraction of your semester grade based on your participation during the rollout of the entire semester on a weekly basis. You attain points for participation, for doing little work, things that what you think is the midterm or final, you only have like 30 or 40 points left.
Okay.
And for those, let me just make a
Let's take this
clarification.
break. We will be going on the line. Let's take this break here, Thomas. Jenny, someone will question play a song from Walkie Roy.
Yes.
That's good.
Let's do True to Being Here.
It's called Melusine. And
I've been listening to this. This will be my first time listening to it.
I couldn't ask for a better day. When your legs and arms stretching like you got a cane. You got this. Oh, I was in another trouble. Let's give me my place. Give me my place. Give me my place. Oh, I never sleep another trouble. Let's give me my place. I'ma give you love back. That's the right spot so you can call back. Now I got you smelling what I call that. Only thing I know about it, cause you love that. You love that. Give me love, I give you love back. That's the right spot so you can call back. Now I got you smelling what I call that. Only thing I know about it, cause you love that. You love that.
We can have tunesbybeer.com.
Okay, that's Walkie Roy there with Pump Tire, and I was a request to play something for the was to do that. But let's go to the line to interact with you this afternoon. 1 minute to the line, 080 919 919 0775 919 919. Let's talk to our first caller this afternoon. Good afternoon. You're welcome, Daniel Masaki.
Yeah, thank you so much. Though I told him the little bit because maybe a few girls may have answered the question that I am about to ask. And so some of them for me, I started my registration, the entrance, but they didn't complete. So I don't know what the update.
Okay, he's asking for the update. He said he never completed. Let's talk to another caller. Good afternoon.
Welcome to Nathaniel.
You're welcome.
And good afternoon to the people there. This is
Good afternoon.
And I joined you for the vaccination junction district month around something. Thank you, Nathaniel. And I appreciate the faculty of the University of Nigeria for their excellent idea. In my view, instituting this digital idea will place the University of Nigeria online with all of the modern universities in the world. So I appreciate them so much. It has a lot of opportunities and advantages.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Don't hold the line. Don't hold the line. There are a lot of folks on the line wanting to be a part of the program this afternoon. Good afternoon, Ojukwu Oboswa.
Good afternoon, Nathaniel. Good afternoon to your student, Ojukwu Oboswa. Nathaniel, I must appreciate the university administration and the president of the Republic of Europe for making more learning and our doors. I must appreciate it. We do not have a cell phone. We need to try to add somebody close up to you because the university is free now. We have to add some of the registered friends so they can have food and they have the education.
Okay.
Besides that, Nathaniel, I hear someone for giving a post. And you need to be prepared, they will be prepared to do. But with the level of improvement, I'm going to go to Laban now. I think it's welcoming 100%. And so the time is now not clear for me. Let me appreciate them. We can pray now. We can pray that they put that to
Okay. Thank you so much. Jenny and Thomas have been following on. Tom, I've set the call. Let's just do it quickly. You've been following some of the calls.
Let's start with Daniel on entrance and then the rest of it. For entrance, we will announce when entrance, the registration will resume. There will be a short period for students to still complete the registration process, and entrance will be taken. Hopefully, as you said, if August everything can happen, we will be good. But we have to be cognizant of the fact that we are in a health crisis, as a pandemic, and we cannot expose our people to getting sick. We want all of us to be well and to eat as many chickens as we can for December, Christmas. So the university will go ahead and announce the new dates for entrance. We can assure anybody about that. For Rwanda, obviously the system will be correct. Don't worry. The correctness has been correct. So don't worry. It will be very correct.
Okay. Thomas, let's go to you.
Yeah, addressing the concern of Bob, he made an analogy that getting outside in the ring and that.
To be fair to him, we took over 3 months to plan this thing. So I don't know which kind of preparation he's referring to. And he's saying, when will the package be ready? That's the reason why we are giving opportunity to all of the players in the market to present their best packages possible, because we are concerned about the economic conditions of our students. And then to Taylor, we say, if you think this is untimely, when will it be very timely? Our challenges will remain with us. Students will continue to come from the poor background. And if we can't do it now, then when? 12th graders are in class because of special condition. They have exam to take, and they are very few. At one point in time, we have up to 6,000-7,000 students converging on the Capitol Hill campus, for instance. You can't reach that. It takes so much to implement health regulation at the level of the university compared to senior students in secondary school. And then I think for Ojukwu, his
Jenny, let me get your parting comment. 30 seconds, then we'll go to Thomas.
Okay, students, we encourage you to please follow our Facebook page and our website, the University of Liberia page. We will be posting videos to help you with the registration process, to help you with logging into Moodle. We will be putting visual there so you can be able to see it and learn it quicker. Are we Generation X? We are the ones known for technology. Let's get up with it. Let's join the team and be ready for that $10,000 job that we always dream about.
Okay, Thomas.
Yeah, the advent of technology has opened doors for many, and I want to say to my fellow students,
please be a part of this novel semester. It's one of the best things that's ever happened in our country for us to make this decision. Don't be left out, don't be told. Be a part of the semester, you see how good life is.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss Jenny Colley, the Director of Media Relations at the University of Liberia. Mr. Thomas Kaya, the Director of University Relations there. We've been having a very, very much nice discussion this afternoon. But thank you so much for taking this break here. And to be back tomorrow again with our weekend edition of the program. Like I said to you, all of our viewers out on our online page. Tomorrow, the Lord Mayor, Jefferson Tamakoji, will be my guest into the studio. Until tomorrow again, don't forget, the German trade of the war that must be kept high onto the agenda because it involves the majority and those that come with equity but certainly come with claims. I am your humble servant. My name is J. Nathaniel B. Varsunia. Bidding a pleasant good afternoon here from the city of Painesville. Until tomorrow.
Fellow citizens and foreign residents, government is taking every precaution and actions to protect our borders and put the